Howdy folks, it's Dr. Z returning for VEDA 2014, day 19. Today's going to be the flip side of what I was talking about yesterday, the cons of floating. And I kind of wanted to talk about the pros to lead into the cons because I wanted to make an announcement of sorts. I've been talking a lot about my time with Walgreens, and I've been talking about the different experiences I've had, and so I wanted to first talk about what's been very beneficial for me. I'll start off with the end. I quit. This video is kind of the explanation why. One con of floating is you get to be farther and farther away from your family, and with me, family is very important, especially when you have a very big district. You may be getting exposed to a lot of different cultures, but it's nowhere near the amount of time that you spend away from your family. It can sometimes hit a person pretty hard, and for a lot of people they said, oh, I'm sure I would love floating because I get to go and travel all over. And it's like, yeah, that's right, but I get to travel all over, farther and farther away from people I like, people I love. That kind of leads into keeping things straight when you're going from place to place. You're not really getting into a community, you're getting exposed to a community, what they like, what they don't like, but you don't get to truly meet the patients that you get to care for. You see them, you treat for them for the day, but that's it, kind of in and out. That's the whole premise of floating. The other aspect is you have to remember these different laws. I mean, especially if you're going multi-state district. I had went to Missouri, I went to Illinois. Those are only two states that I have to keep in mind, but a lot of districts may encompass 3 different states, 4 different states. In order to keep up your hours, in order to keep working, you more than likely have to keep a license in each of those states and keep each of those in mind. Yet another thing about floating is you don't have any ownership. You don't possess a sort of feeling about a community. You're there for a day and you're out. There's no community you can attach yourself to, and therefore it's more of what can I do to keep things running until the next day, rather than looking at something a little bit farther down. It's not that you can't do it, it's that you don't want to do it because you're temporary in each of these different places. And it's a shorter amount of cons, but it's a lot of heavy hitter cons for me. The being misplaced in the community, the being farther away from my family, keeping all these different situations in my head, it weighs down on you. And it's also, I mean, it's a stressful job to be able to travel that far, have these 8-hour shifts extended to 10-hour days, 13-hour days, 15-hour days, let alone when you're going far, back and forth between 3.5 hours. It's hard on a person. And there were other complications that I don't want to kind of go into. And that's why I left Walgreens. But now I'm at a more stable job, and you could have seen in my videos that I was moving farther and farther away from the Walgreens pharmacy and into more country areas. I moved into an independent pharmacy in a central area that's a lot closer to home than anything that Walgreens had ever sent me to. For some people, they're able to make that switch and they become a lot happier. Others, it may not be that right switch for them. But it's all going to be up to you and your priorities and what you feel is going to be the best decision for you. It's a little shorter video today because it's Easter weekend. If you have any questions, hit me up in the comments. Otherwise, like and share my videos, subscribe to my channel, and I've been Dr. Z. Have a great night.